All right, let's talk about hair. Specifically, the kind that seems to incite a bizarre mix of fascination and fear. Red hair. Red hair, a relatively rare genetic trait, has been unfairly demonized throughout history. We're talking centuries of prejudice and stereotyping, all because of some extra melanin. Over the next few minutes, we're diving headfirst into the top 10 countries where this gingerism runs rampant, exploring the historical and cultural roots of this bizarre prejudice. Buckle up, folks, because things are about to get a little red hot. The United Kingdom. A land of rolling hills, charming accents, and apparently a shocking amount of redheads. Seriously, Scotland and Ireland boast some of the highest percentages of redheads globally. You'd think with numbers like that they'd be treated like royalty. But alas, my friends, that is not the case. In the UK, the term gingerism isn't just a playful jab. It's a real and pervasive form of discrimination. A University College Cork study revealed that redheads are more likely to be bullied and experience social anxiety. The UK continues to grapple with the legacy of these biases, with ginger jokes and slurs still casually tossed around like confetti at a parade. It's time for the UK to confront its gingerism problem head-on and create a more inclusive environment for its red-headed citizens. Next, we journey to the land of sunshine, surfing, and you guessed it, more redheads. Australia, with its large British and Irish diaspora, has inherited more than just a love for tea and cricket. They've also imported a healthy dose of gingerism. Australians are known for their colourful language, but some terms like ranga, short for orangutan, are downright derogatory and fuel negative stereotypes about redheads. Take, for instance, the 2008 Adelaide Zoo incident, where a group of teenagers were denied entry because of their red hair. The reason? The zoo was hosting a Redhead Day and feared these teens might be troublemakers. This incident reflects a broader issue of prejudice and casual discrimination faced by redheads in Australia. Australia, it's time to ditch the outdated biases and embrace the fiery beauty of your red-headed population. Oh, Canada, you're known for your friendly demeanor and love for maple syrup. But even in the land of politeness, a dark cloud of gingerism looms. In 2005, South Park aired an episode titled Ginger Kids, which, while intended to satirize prejudice, inadvertently sparked a wave of real-life bullying. Children across North America, inspired by the episode's fictional Kick a Ginger Day, began targeting their red-headed classmates with physical and verbal abuse. It was a stark reminder of the power of media and the very real consequences of unchecked prejudice, even when veiled in humor. Canada, it's time to channel your renowned niceness into action. Educate yourselves and your children about the harmful effects of gingerism and foster a culture of inclusivity where everyone, regardless of hair color, feels safe and respected. Chapter 4. Germany, a history tainted with prejudice. Moving on to Germany, a nation with a complex and often dark history. During the medieval period, red hair became unfairly associated with Jewish people, fueled by the myth of the Red Jews, a mythical tribe believed to be in league with the devil. This dangerous association led to the persecution and massacre of countless innocent individuals, their red hair used as a marker of otherness and evil. The witch hunts of the 16th century further demonized redheads, with women accused of witchcraft often targeted for their red hair. These historical events cast a long shadow on how redheads are perceived in Germany, manifesting in subtle forms of discrimination and social exclusion. Germany, it's time to fully confront these dark chapters in your history and actively dismantle the stereotypes that continue to marginalize redheads. Chapter 5. France, from Judas hair to legislative action. Ah, France, the land of romance, revolution, and, unfortunately, a long history of gingerism. The French have a rather colourful way of expressing their disdain for redheads, using terms like poil de Judas, meaning Judas hair, to denote treachery and betrayal. This association stems from the belief that Judas Iscariot, the disciple who betrayed Jesus, had red hair. For centuries, red hair has been linked to negative stereotypes of untrustworthiness, deceit, and even evil intent. However, in 2024, France took a bold step towards combating hair-based discrimination by introducing legislation that specifically addresses gingerism. While there's still a long way to go in changing hearts and minds, France's legislative action is a significant step in the right direction. Chapter 6. Mexico, the rare and the ridiculed. South of the border in Mexico, where vibrant culture and warm hospitality reign supreme, redheads are a rare sight. This rarity, however, hasn't shielded them from prejudice and ridicule. Mexican slang is rife with nicknames for redheads, many of which are far from complimentary. From Zanahoria, carrot, to Colorado, colored. These terms often reduce individuals to their physical appearance, highlighting their otherness in a predominantly brown-haired and dark-haired society. This focus on physical difference can lead to feelings of isolation and exclusion, particularly among young redheads who are already navigating the complexities of identity formation. Mexico, it's time to embrace the beauty of diversity in all its forms, including the fiery splendor of red hair. Next, we find ourselves in Italy, a country renowned for its art, fashion, and of course its abundance of dark-haired beauties. Redheads in this sea of brunettes are about as common as a meatball on a vegan pizza. And while their rarity might spark curiosity, it often comes with a side of unwanted attention and teasing. Italian culture, much like many others, has its fair share of stereotypes associated with red hair. From fiery tempers to passionate personalities, these generalizations, while seemingly harmless, can box individuals into predetermined roles and limit their potential. Red-headed children in particular often bear the brunt of these stereotypes, facing teasing, name-calling, and exclusion from peer groups. Italy, it's time to ditch the outdated stereotypes and embrace the uniqueness of red hair. Chapter 8. Russia, a love-hate relationship with red. Let's journey now to Russia, a land of vast landscapes, rich history, and surprisingly a rather complex relationship with redheads. On one hand, Russia boasts a long-standing fascination with red hair. Folklore often depicts redheads as possessing magical powers, both good and evil. This fascination even manifests in cultural events like the annual Redhead Day festival in Perm, where redheads from all over gather to celebrate their unique heritage. However, this admiration often goes hand in hand with deeply ingrained suspicion and prejudice. Russia, it's time to reconcile your love-hate relationship with redheads and embrace the positive aspects of your cultural fascination while actively challenging the negative stereotypes that fuel discrimination. Chapter 9. United States South Park and the Ripple Effect. And finally, we arrive back home to the United States, a melting pot of cultures, ethnicities, and, you guessed it, hair colors. Now, you might think that in a nation built on diversity, Gingerism wouldn't be a thing. But alas, my friends, prejudice knows no borders. We've already discussed the unfortunate ripple effect of South Park's Ginger Kids episode and the creation of Kick a Ginger Day. This seemingly harmless cartoon sparked a wave of real-life bullying and harassment targeting red-headed children across the country. The US, despite its strides in promoting equality, still grapples with deeply ingrained biases based on physical appearance. It's time for the US to take a hard look in the mirror and address the underlying prejudices that allow gingerism to persist. Chapter 10. Australia. When safety campaigns miss the mark, now let's hop back to Australia for a moment because, frankly, one chapter wasn't enough to unpack their complicated relationship with redheads. In 2010, the Australian government launched a road safety campaign that, while well-intentioned, missed the mark spectacularly. The campaign featured a series of ads with the tagline "Be bright, be seen," urging pedestrians to wear bright clothing for visibility. The ads predominantly featured redheads, often in situations where they were nearly hit by cars. The message, whether intentional or not, was clear. Redheads are inherently less visible and therefore more prone to accidents. Australia, while your intentions may have been noble, it's crucial to be mindful of the underlying messages your campaigns convey. Our outro, Embracing the Fire, a call for change. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of gingerism across the globe. From the UK to Australia, Canada to Germany and beyond, redheads continue to face a bewildering array of prejudice and discrimination. But it's not all doom and gloom, folks. As we've seen, there are glimmers of hope. France's legislative action, the growing awareness surrounding gingerism, And the efforts of individuals and organizations fighting for equality are all steps in the right direction. Let's challenge the stereotypes, dismantle the prejudices, and embrace the fiery beauty of red hair. Remember, folks, diversity is our strength, and a world without redheads would be a much duller place.